Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Also rising to urge you to vote yes. This amendment utilizes CCA as a intermediary, the same way the whole budget uses a CCA to act as an intermediary to shift funds from one place to another. In this case, we're talking about LEA, local enrichment funds. Mr. Speaker, if this were an after-school activity, let's call it debate club, it would be funded by LEA. Thankfully, this is not funded by LEA because the budget is going to slash LEA funds. That being said, the budget in its slashing of LEA funds is not getting rid of administrative bloat or administrative fat. It's getting rid of the extra things that the basic funding formula doesn't cover. Let me give you an example. Imagine there's a third grader in my district, the 31st district. Let's say in Buckley or Carbonado or Wilkeson, you've got a third grader that is autistic. Now that third grader very possibly has a paraeducator, and the state's funding formula very rarely covers the entire cost of a paraeducator for a third grader that needs a one-on-one for how they go to school. Now, what is that school district going to do? I'll tell you, a district like the districts in my community, they're a poor district compared to maybe the more commercially rich or property-rich districts elsewhere. They are going to have to raid funds elsewhere. They're going to raid funds that they raised for levy for other purposes. And that's really kind of the crux of this issue. By reducing the LEA formula from 250 to 150, what you're doing, what happens here in this budget is that poor districts experience the biggest drawback. These are districts where both parents have to work, and I'm sure that's the same in both of our districts. Both parents have to work. I'll tell you, in my district, they would love to work close to where their kids go to school. They'd love to work close to where they live. In reality, they have to drive 2 hours each direction to be able to work at a job to afford where they're living. That's what it means to be in a property poor district. Is often, even in Washington State, a property poor district, a bare entry home is still $600,000 or $700,000. And that's not funding the support that these kids require. That third grader that needs the one-on-one, that district is having to take money away from after-school activities, band, choir, debate club, perhaps an extra counselor at the high school. Like, these are very real scaffolds that these students need to be able to succeed in school. Now, once they get out of school, of course, they're gonna have to move out of the district because there's no higher education in these poor districts. There's no jobs in these poor districts. The only thing in these districts are the schools that are underfunded. Cutting this LEA hurts the poor districts. That's what the LEA here is for. Urge support of this amendment.